Everybody, some would say I'm the reverse, and welcome to my review for The Flash, Season 6, Episode 1, titled Into the Void. Let's get right into this with my general thoughts about the episode. I think it's one of the best premieres of The Flash so far. I still prefer Season 4's premiere, that was my favorite premiere, but this one is better than the pilot, I believe. I think. Um, I think it's better than Flashpoint. I think it's better than the season 2 premiere, The Man Who Saved Central City, and it's better than last year's Nora. I think is what it was called. Um, but I still think I like season four's premiere better. But with time, I think this is going to be one of those episodes that it'll grow on me because when I was watching it and when it finished live, I was actually quite disappointed by it, but it's been a little more than a day since this episode aired, and I find myself really enjoying the episode. Even though I've only watched it once, but thinking back, it's actually a really good episode, and it took me about a day to realize that, which is why I don't do my reviews right away. I just wait until I get my final thoughts on each episode out. But let's start with some of the plot points. Something that not only myself, but everyone basically was looking forward to is Godspeed in this episode, which in this episode he wasn't that good. Him and Barry had a fight, but it wasn't the real Godspeed. Apparently, it was the fourth Godspeed that they've fought over the past 4 months after the time jump. There is a time jump in this episode. But Barry defeats him. He takes his mask off. It's just some regular guy. Looking at the set photos, it looked like it was going to be Eddie or Julian or someone familiar, but it was just some random guy. And he makes this mechanical robot sound. And obviously, this is going to be a plot of the season. Maybe Godspeed's going to be the season long villain after Crisis. I have no idea where this is going, but it's really intriguing for now. And I expected Godspeed to be the episode 1 villain going into this episode, but it turns out I was completely off. Um, this episode actually didn't have a villain, which is a first for the Flash premieres. It had a threat with the black holes and stuff, but it didn't have a villain. Um, but let's talk about we got over Godspeed. There are some other villains in this episode. Mainly Bloodwork is being set up. It shows that his mother died. It shows that he actually has the same disease that she had, and he wants to use dark matter as a cure for it. And he's an old med school friend of Caitlyn's, and they meet up. And Caitlyn doesn't want him to be using dark matter, and he gets angry at her, and he leaves. And then we see him develop his powers at the end of the episode because of the dark matter. So that's pretty cool. Uh, I thought it would have been a bit of a disappointment if it turns out he got his abilities from the particle accelerator or something, but I'm glad that he's getting his powers from a new source. Maybe we can get some other metahumans through the dark matter he's using. That would be interesting as a new source of metahumans, since we've got that basically every season with the particle accelerator, Earth 2, the husks from Flashpoint, the bus metas, and then the satellite. And this season, it could be Bloodworks' dark matter cure, in quotation marks, cure, that could give metahumans their abilities. Now, Chester P. Runk is a new character who is obsessed with aliens, basically, and he created a device used to communicate with aliens, but it kind of malfunctioned and created black holes, which he was connected to. His consciousness was inside of those black holes, and well, basically that gave us one of the coolest scenes from the Flash ever, which was the Flash Gordon theme playing over Barry going inside the black hole and retrieving Chester's consciousness. Uh, that was such a cool moment, and I'm really glad that they finally used the Flash Gordon theme. I haven't personally seen Flash Gordon, but it was a really cool moment for the series, and and I'm just really glad they did it after 6 seasons, but they did it, and it was awesome. The CGI was good in this episode. It wasn't great, but it was actually a lot better than last season's. Um, and it wasn't as good as season 4. Season 4 had really good CGI, especially like Enter Flash Time and stuff. But season 5 kind of dipped in that um, in that respect. But this episode actually had really good CGI. The him going in the black hole, that was actually pretty good looking, especially with the new suit, which is my favorite Flash suit so far, even better than the season 4 suit. And I saw a lot of people complaining about how the new suit was created. Cisco made it. That's all that matters. I don't really care that they didn't have a suit up scene. It's cool that they used Nora's gauntlet to sort of power it, along with the mind, or I forgot what it's called. It's called the Mac. That's it's the machine that basically lets Barry see every possible solution to a problem or to a fight or something, and he's going to use it to stop crime, basically, and stop metahumans, which will be pretty cool in the later episodes of this season. What else did we have? We had Iris and Barry coping with Nora's death, which was pretty cool. I didn't really like the way that they used Barry. Barry seemed different in this episode. I don't know why. Um, at first he was sort of, I don't know, he was all Team Flash, we can get the job done, super optimistic and crap, which came out of left field. I don't really know what that was about. And then by the end of the episode, when him and Iris kind of had that moment where they realized they have to grieve together about Nora, he, got more serious. And I don't know, his character arc in this episode at least was a little bit shaky, but I hope uh, when they, next episode, when he goes and sees his death, it'll get a little bit flattened out, and the season will kick off, and they'll realize what Barry's arc is going to be, if that made sense. And then at the end, we had the Monitor showing up. At the beginning of the episode, Nora's message got fried, and at the end, after the time jump, after the events of the episode, it was revealed that was the Monitor, basically giving like an incentive to grieve, or I don't know what that was about, but it was Crisis. It was a Crisis tease. We know that Barry's gonna vanish, or at least that's what the Monitor says. He says the Flash will vanish, which everyone is freaking out about on the internet. But he said the Flash. He didn't say Barry Allen. He said the Flash. So it could not. It could be another Flash. Um, I'm just taking all that with a grain of salt, and I think it still is gonna be Barry maybe, because it'd just be a cool moment to see in Crisis. I hope they do it, even though I think we know he's coming back by the end of Crisis because of some set photos, but it doesn't matter. I think Oliver's gonna die anyways. But we got a date, even though a date was confirmed. Uh, the Monitor says December 10th, 2019. That is the day that Barry dies. That is the Flash episode of the Crisis, Part 3. Comes out on December 10th, 2019. So if he's gonna die, it'll be on that day. And basically, that's how the episode ended. Next episode, I think we're gonna be getting a sneak peek of Crisis as Jay Garrick and Joan Garrick, not Joan Garrick yet, Joan Williams, Nora Allen's doppelganger. Oops, will be joining the episode and showing Barry, and basically setting Barry up and helping him look into the future and watching this Crisis. I don't know. In the trailer, it looked like he was time traveling to the day after the Crisis. Maybe he's just um, maybe he's just having visions of that day. I don't know for sure, but I'm really excited for next week's episode. Going to be a very crisis heavy episode, even though it's the second episode of the season. I'm glad we're just jumping right into it, and I'm glad this episode jumped right into the blood work arc. Every story arc is just getting thrown right at us, and I love it. This season is off to a great start, and I think it'll get up to the seasons 1 and 2 levels. So I am definitely ready for this season. Tell me in the comments what you thought about the episode, and